Hey, Pharrell.
Hey, how you doing, man? You know, it'd be cool is if we told my story with Lego pieces.
Seriously?
Yes.
Lego.
Just be open.
Piece by piece, show up. Eventually, the biggest big trend in Hollywood, where they make movies based off the life of one of the most popular music artists in history. And there are so much of them that Hollywood could make a cinematic universe just about that. So it shouldn't be a surprise that Pharrell Williams got a biopic based on his life. But this time it will be a lot more different, since it will be fully animated and created in Legos. And considering that we haven't gotten a Lego movie in almost 6 years, it's very understandable as to why they did that.
Man, this is gonna be a Lego movie, bruh.
And despite the crazy concept, I actually see some potential in this, since it will be directed by Neville. Oh, I haven't seen any of his movies, but I hope that his movies are actually quite great. So I am looking quite forward to this movie. So now that I will be watching Pharrell Williams' Lego biopic, will this movie make me as happy as the song of the same name? Or is this movie nothing but a piece of it? Let's find out. And also spoilers for anyone who can't see this movie, because I watched this movie online. So now when it comes to the story, and there's a documentary, it is exactly what you expect. So the plot is about Pharrell Williams and how he told his story through a bunch of Lego animations, and even has some questions in the story, like how he came from Virginia Beach and how he had friends, and overall how he became one of the most popular music artists in history. However, the problem with the story is that it just feels a bit too short and makes it kind of weak, disappointingly. That, and also the pacing can be also kind of slow, and the movie's tone can be all over the place, where it's mostly kid friendly, but other times it's really not.
All I cared about was making my own music, but people just said no. I wasn't ready.
But the thing that doesn't make the story bad is the soundtrack and the overall idea. Well, the soundtrack in this movie and the songs are actually quite nice. And not to mention that the idea itself is quite really creative in general. So it kind of does save the story. So, however, this movie story can be a bit mid, but it still could have been a lot worse. So now let's talk about the animation. And the movie was actually animated by two animation studios, with one being in Los Angeles and the other being in India. And also, this movie has a relatively extremely low budget, with $16 million. And for that budget, it looks impressively great. A big highlight of the animation is with how almost everything is made out of Legos. Yes, even including the water. And also, the overall color palette do look quite nice to watch, and the character of animation is a bit more choppy with voxels. They've basically Legos. And speaking of the fact that they have Legos, the overall animation actually brings in the visual humor, where they completely acknowledge that they have in fact Legos.
Who did that?
Pharrell.
Wow.
And also whenever the music plays, something magical will happen with the animation and how there were a bunch of really nice colors to look at. And also there was a fish in this movie that's actually animated in 2D. But however, the one nitpick I have to give it the animation is that it does feel out of place in a documentary. Yes, that may sound weird, but here I go. The reason why the animation worked in the previous Lego movies is because they didn't really take themselves seriously, wherein here it is literally a documentary about a real life person. And also the character design is kind of feel the same. But however, it absolutely does not ruin the animation and it makes the movie quite great, impressively to watch. So now let's talk about the characters. And it really feels wrong to call them characters because basically every character in this movie are actually real people who helped Pharrell. And to his credit, they are mostly okay and quite even likable. So now let's start with Pharrell Williams himself, who's this very passionate queer artist who extremely likes music and vato and came from Virginia Beach and just loved making music, but he got rejected by a bunch of companies. But however, he is actually quite the most interesting and almost relatable character in my opinion. Thanks because of it.
And potential. Keep open our eyes to a whole different perspective.
And there is also the director of the film, Neville, which despite not being as important as Pharrell, helps Pharrell by making his own story. And unsurprisingly, it features a bunch of artists that many music fans will recognize, like Snoop Dogg, who's this gangsta rapper who made Drop It Like It's Hot, and is the only character that can kind of shift into a dog.
I was always a bad gangster, but you brought out a smile.
Hell yeah.
And there is also the girlfriend of Pharrell Williams, who really loves Pharrell Williams. And there is also Jeff, who is possibly Pharrell Williams' first friend, and there is also Norway, and there is also Gwen Stefani, who is like the female of the band who first starts out like she thinks they're going to the band is ridiculous. And also there is also Teddy, who he helps Pharrell how to make, who Pharrell helped him in order to look him how to rap, and also and many more, and a lot more, and also Pharrell Williams' parents, who are actually quite likable, and Pharrell Williams' grandmother, who spelar Lordcast, and also Pharrell Williams' grandmother, who's the character with the most emotional scenes, and she died in the end of the movie. And also despite not being voiced by themselves, the voice acting is actually quite good. And when it comes to the characters, not all of them are perfect, they are mostly okay and can even be memorable. So Morgan Neville officially made a Lego biopic about Pharrell Williams, and while it may not be perfect, it is actually quite decent. Piece by piece, it's a decent and even enjoyable movie that, while it has some problems, like the story can be a little more rich, and there are some parts where it doesn't really feel like a biopic. It really makes up for it with the creatively great animation and Charlotte Shanks and good voice acting. So if you're a Lego fan or a Pharrell Williams fan, or if you love watching biopic movies and documentaries, then this movie is for you. And that's why I'm saying that this movie was decent and gets a 7 out of 10. And considering how this movie is decent, it actually makes me excited for the next Universal Lego movies. Oh no!